Okay, Molly Green. Here we go. Fucking part two. You want the three questions, so I gotta lay it on you. Question one.
Cool.
What's the greatest piece of life advice you've ever received?
Oh, Jesus. Uh,
That's a good start.
um, I literally I can't even pull something out. I think it's something along the lines of do what you want to do, just be authentic. And you just work hard and you can do anything you want. Like it is cliche, but it's kind of what's got me through. Just like nothing matters that much, like in the grand scheme of things. So just don't worry.
Don't worry, be happy, right?
I was
Bob
gonna
Marley.
say that. Yes. Oh God.
He was onto something, man.
It really was.
You know the No Woman, No Cry was inspired by a homeless lad.
Oh really?
You got the lyrics from not all the lyrics, but you got the No Woman, No Cry but from a homeless man, yeah, who was talking to him.
Oh,
Crazy,
I
right?
love that. Yeah, but see, those are the people that have been to the extremes and have learned the stuff, and that's why I just think experience over, you know, mainstream education is. I mean, I rate obviously mainstream education is amazing as well. I'm not stating it, but you've got to experience things as well.
Yeah, man. You know, dude, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Jumped and life kind of knocked me around a little bit and you lose your way and inevitably you find your path again because you've gone down all the ones that you probably shouldn't be on.
Yeah.
But you learn from it, you know, and you've got a little bit more strings to the bow and you've got a well-developed character.
Exactly.
If you in a pub in the middle of Slovenia, you can share a story or two rather than like, oh, I went to high school and then mummy and daddy put me in college and then I went to university and then I got my master's and then I became a doctor. You're like, thanks, Jeffrey. Like, I'm gonna go fucking jerk off in the corner. It's more entertaining, you know. Like, give me something to go off here. You know, where's the fucking redemption arc?
Yeah.
You know, where's the mistakes? Where's the lessons? And where's the funny part of the story where I don't know, you got married in Uzbekistan or something?
Like exactly. It's fine and it's great, but it's not living in my opinion.
No, no. What's the worst piece of life advice you ever received?
Uh, just to be honest, anything like anything that where I've been told like you should do this,
Mm,
like you should do this way, um, and because it's the done thing. And I know again that's a real like loose answer. If I think about this and come back to you, I'll probably give you better ones. But I don't know. Just just anything that's like because I said so or because that's the way it is. It's just like, well, no, that's just not it's just not how it's gonna be.
there's no sustenance to it.
Exactly. And I have that really annoying quality where I'm like, but why? it's that
Mm,
it's that curiosity. Um, and I think that's another reason why I got so much trouble at school because I just used to be told you don't do like don't dress like that. Don't and I just thought, but why? Like I
why?
couldn't fathom a real good reason
Yeah.
because I knew my intentions were good. So and to be honest, there probably was a fine reason which I didn't understand at the time. Like when it came to kind of, um, punk music and stuff like that. I mean, when I was a kid, wasn't educated on the political connotations to it and things like that. And now I know a bit more now, and I choose not to portray myself in that way. But it wasn't oh this is why. Like here, let me educate you on what you're actually kind of subscribing to. It was just don't do it,
Mm.
and you know so I don't think it's really advice, but I just anything without a kind of explanation behind it or any reason behind it, just because that's what we're told. I think that's rubbish advice.
No, I relate to that real hard, man. Someone says, this is what you have to do. There is no option. You have to do this. My instant reaction is fuck you. And that might be the man in
Yeah.
me, and it's just like, well, like, why? There is always
Why?
many ways to skin the cat, And listen, if you say, Al, you got to do this, and I say why, and there's a reason behind it, I'll be like, yes, miss. No problem. Like it will be done in a fucking instant, and I will break myself to do it for you. But if it's like because I said so, because I'm the man, because I got the bigger dick, because I'm this, that, and the other, and mate, they're not the games I want to play, mate. I don't give a shit about no games. Like I'll just go
No,
walk on into a different room.
exactly. Because I think it comes down to that thing as well. It's like we're all the same. We're just human. We're all just disgusting humans. So why one person's word better than someone else's?
that's
It's
that's one way of putting it.
but I mean, it's I suppose sometimes it is because they've done the work and they've done the the learning for themselves. But majority of the time, those kind of people they give you a why.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Most of the time, there's a legit answer. There's a legit reason, I should say.
yeah,
And that's great. But we got to look at it as a teaching opportunity. We have an opportunity
yeah,
to teach somebody why it probably should be done in a certain way, rather than
yeah,
telling somebody. And that's a conversation I have with coaches and in the coaching realm, fitness all the time. It's like you're not there to tell, you're there to teach.
yeah, exactly.
Where
Just give.
go on
Um, I was just gonna say, yeah, just give that information and let people do what they will with it because
for sure.
it's a tool. It's a tool rather than a and if you can provide that, that's amazing. Like that's purposeful, isn't it? Um, whereas if you just sort of dictating, then I think, well, if somebody's going to follow that, then like my belief system is that people shouldn't. It's that they should figure things out for themselves, and
Yeah, me too, man.
you can give them the tools and the information, but it's again like be a free thinking, well, you know, and a logical sort of thinking person, but do it because you believe it, and just
Yeah.
you know,
Well, it's the same thing. Do you want warriors or do you want mercenaries?
yeah,
Like, well,
exactly,
what do you want to go to battle with? Like a paid aid or someone's going to lay themselves down for a cause? Like, it's the same. It's an extreme example, like, but it's the same. Do you want somebody who's just going to blindly follow you, or do you want a real
yeah.
solid relationship in whatever sense that is?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it, as well? Because if somebody's just going to blindly follow you, you know for a fact that they don't have that intrinsic motivation, that intrinsic why.
Mhm.
Whereas if they've got the information and they've decided to do it themselves, they're going to push 10 times harder because they want to, because they believe in it, because they've got that why.
Yeah,
Um, whereas if they're just told to do it, yeah, they'll work hard, but they'll give up. But it's like the people that go on selection, the people that pass are the people that want it more than they want to breathe. Like, and because they've got their own internal reasons. Whereas if somebody just said, like, go on this ridiculous tab or whatever in the hills, people are just going to pile in because they have absolutely no other reason to be there other than that they think maybe it's cool or because somebody they
yeah,
think is
it's
cool told
cool.
them to or whatever. So anyway,
Yeah, it being cool is not a strong enough why to get you through those dark days, man. Like, because it's
yeah,
going to be
yeah,
tough, regardless of what you do. You could be an artist, but it's going to be bloody tough.
yeah.
Because it's cool is not going to get you through.
No, and you got to weigh it up sometimes as well. I think like, I mean, for me, for the road, I mean that's pretty cool. It's an amazing thing to sort of said you would have done, or but I got to the point where I was like, well, um, is that enough?
Mm,
What is my why?
mm,
And I just thought, well, in this instance, that's not enough currently. Like,
mm.
but
That's great. You're true to yourself. That's all you can be.
oh, yeah, 100%.
That's all you can be in everything.
Yeah,
Just fucking wear your heart on your sleeve and speak from it as often as you can. Job done.
exactly that. And then you
That's
connect with the people you're meant to connect with, don't you? So then you're happier.
100%, man. People you end up attracting the right people around you, man.
Yeah,
Whether it's just like, oh, you find the one person for you. great. You find your friendships for you, great. You find your boss or your employee or the job you're supposed to be in, great. Like you end up finding those folk, man. You just gotta sometimes you gotta burn your light a little bit brighter just so you can see a couple more steps ahead, and you're gonna have
Yeah,
to walk alone for a little bit. And I hope you do because you build the courage and the bravery and the confidence that you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be fine, man. You're gonna be fucking fine. And then guess what? You burn it a little bit brighter and you look around and there's actually some folk walking with you that give a shit about you. And when you fuck up, they pull you back on the right track. And when your head drops, they pull your chin up and they're there. They give a shit about you, you know?
yeah, exactly. And it's just that genuine authenticity that's like the core of being human, isn't it? Being who you are and being like, um, yeah. So I think it's the only way to be, isn't it? Um, yeah, it's the only way to be.
Just be yourself, man.
Yeah, it's the
Last
only thing you
question.
can do. Go on.
What are the 3 words you tell your younger self?
Uh, probably, probably just get over yourself. Like,
Wow.
I think when I was actually a teenager in my punk days, I was probably more myself than ever because I just thought, I didn't care. But it was then after that, when anxiety ruled my life and I was just so bloody confused. And I put myself right at the center, and I think a lot of people suffer with anxiety these days, and a lot of people, have this. There's a lot of talk around mental health, and I think, I mean, maybe I don't want to say too much on it because I think, like I've had some friends that have really struggled and blah, blah, blah. But for myself, the way that I had managed to get past a lot of anxiety was just going like, get over yourself. Like just no one else, this doesn't matter to anyone else. So does it truly matter to you? Like, no. So just yeah,
I understand what you're saying.
just
Like
crack on.
no one's coming to save you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I just started to feel very like self-centered because all I could think about was how I was portrayed and how I was coming across and what people thought of me, and I had all this social anxiety and I just thought, well, it's not all about me. Do you know what I mean? Like literally
Yeah.
get over yourself. And once I started thinking about everybody else instead and thinking, okay, like how can I, but again that is about me, but like how can I add to this situation or make a positive impact on someone else and not sort of, or just flipping it to be a positive instead of sort of saying like, oh, how am I making this negative? It's just that it's just more of a positive sort of way of looking at it, I suppose, and that helped me sort of get over it a little bit. I
Yeah,
mean, everyone's
man.
got their thing, but it's
Being of service, you know, being of service for some people and just how can I help? How can I aid? That helped me, man. That pulls you out of your head sometimes, and you've got to do that. Like don't
yeah,
get me wrong, like there's going to be times where you need to retreat back in. There's going to be times where you need to take days off. There's going to be times where you need to like, lie down and do nothing. Yeah, but fantastic. But there's also that day, that reckoning, where guess what? Get the fuck up. Are you going
yeah,
to stay down there? Like, unfortunately, I can't make you do that,
yeah,
and you can't make somebody else do that. And you've got to do that work yourself, and that's
yeah,
why I love fitness, man. Guess what? That's a barbell. I put my hands on it. You put your hands on it. It weighs the
yeah,
same, gives no shits, and it's going to like treat you the same. Good day, bad day, ugly day, best day. It's all the same. And
yeah.
sometimes you got to get back up and start fucking swinging again.
Yeah, and what's going to motivate you to do that is like sometimes hitting those low points, and this is why I don't get too concerned when I do hit a lull because I'm like, I know that I'll get out of it. I know I'll get myself out of it at some point, but it's just like you got to rest sometimes,
Yeah.
and I'm big on like the less is more sometimes as well. Like I really, if you look at like sort of sports psychology or competing at like a competitive level, the teams that do well don't just slog themselves completely day in day out. it's like once things start to reach that peak and start to go downhill,
Yeah.
that's when you stop and you reset and you like, you know, you just rest and then you start again. So I'm big on that as well. I think, you know, we've got to have those highs and we've got to have those lows in everything.
Yeah.
In order to sort of just carry on. I just think that's, I haven't figured out why, but there's probably some, you know, there's probably a lot of research on it, but that definitely is just human nature, I think.
Yeah.
Nothing's constant, is it?
No, man. The only constant in life is change.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
Mo, this has been an honor and a privilege, mate. I appreciate you so much.
I've had the best time. Thanks so much for asking me to come on. I mean, totally rogue choice, but thanks.
Get fucked. Like, you can talk shit to me whenever you want, mate. You know, like I said, there's a seat at the table for everybody. Everybody has a voice, and everybody should have the right to fucking speak it.
I really appreciate that. I'm interested to hear your story at some point too.
Ah, I mean, there's stories in there, man, but
I can
it is what
imagine.
it is. You know, I'm sure people don't want to fucking hear that shit.
They absolutely do. I definitely do.
Maybe we can do another one sometime. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, mate.
All right.
Appreciate this a lot, and you have a good evening watching fucking Love Island or whatever you're gonna get up to. Weirdo.
Yeah. Oh God, don't out me. Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate
Easy,
it.
mate. Appreciate it, man. Speak
Have a
soon.
good one. Bye. Bye.
Bye, everybody.